Bonjour, aujourd'hui nous apprenons les numéros. Hier, on a appris 0 à 20, 0 à 20, 0 to 20. Aujourd'hui, nous apprenons 21, 21, 21 et plus. OK, donc 21, 21, 20, 20, 1 is 1. The very first number from 20 through 60, you're going to put an and in between, 20 and 1, 21. But you do not put that between the rest of the numbers, just the first one. So 22 is just 22, okay? Now on these notes, I don't go through the rest of these numbers because if you know the word for 20 and you know the word for 3, then you can say 23, okay? So all of the rest of those, I'm just giving you the 1 and the 2, and then you can do 23 through 29 in your brain. Okay, so 22. 30. 30. If you go to Starbucks, this is where 30 comes from. That is 30 ounces. So then we have 31, 30 and 1. And then for all the rest of the numbers, we don't have that ET in between. 32, 32, 32. So 37 would be 37. We have 40, 40. 40, 41, 41, 42. So notice we do have a dash between the numbers. 42, 50, 50, 50, 51, 51. And then 52 would be 52 with that dash. So 55 would be 55. 56 would be 56. 60, 60, 60, 61, 61, 62. Okay, so then you would have 63, 64. Just keep adding those numbers together. Okay, so when we get to 70, things get fun again. So remember, just like when we were doing our teens, 13 through 16 all have their own word, and then we get to 17 and we start smushing things together. So it gets the same when we get up to these tens. So 70, those are the words for 60 and 10. When you push 60 and 10 together, you get 70. There is not a word for 70. It is 60, 10 together. So that means you are adding something to 60 to get to 70. So to get to 71, what are we adding to 60? 71. Okay, so this is 60, 11. Add them together, you get 71. So 72 is 72. 60 plus 12. Okay, so this continues all the way up to 80. So 673 would be 73. 74, 75, so on and so forth. And then, okay, I got this. French is just, they're going to start adding when we get to 70. Got it. And then we get to 80, and the rules change again. I know. So 80, so you should know these words. 4 is 4, 20 is 20. We put them together, and now this word means 80. So now we're multiplying. 80. 4 times 20 is 80. 80. So, how do we get to 81? We add 1. 81. Okay, so if you just want to isolate this phrase together, 80. So don't think about it being 4 and 20. Just think about that together being 80. 81. 82. Okay, now to get to 90, what do you have to add to 80? 90. 80 plus 10 is 90. So how do we get to 91? 91. 91. Okay, so that's 80 plus 11 equals 91. I know this is mind-blowing. You're going to be practicing with it all class, and you're going to have a Quizlet that you can practice with all on your own, I promise. 92, 92. Okay, then here's just some of the bigger vocabulary. We're not going to be focusing as much on this, but just so you're aware. So 100 is 100. So this is where we get the word cents, like there's 100 cents in a dollar. Centimeters, there's 100 centimeters in a meter. All kinds of those words. Century, 100 years in a century. And then we have une mille, which is 1,000. So again, we got lots of words from this. Millimeter, milliliter, millipede, millennium, all kinds of words come from this word. Notice right here, just so you can recognize this, in French numbers where we use a comma, they use a decimal point, okay? And where we use a decimal point, they use a comma. So this is not the number 1, this is the number 1,000, okay? So where you would normally put a comma right here in English, in French we're going to put that decimal point. Then we have un million and un milliard. Okay, so I want you to go back to your notes now and then fill out all of these numbers in your notes. Au revoir.